Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a review of the PogoLab's MWB-1, and this is an in-ear monitoring system, a budget version. They did send this to me free of charge in exchange for my review, but I've had a chance to really use this on an actual gig and just kind of mess around with it here in my home. And I do a lot of YouTube lives, I do a lot of TikTok lives, and in-ear monitors are definitely the superior device to use rather than having a wedge on the ground or just having physical speakers when you're tracking with something that's on the internet, for example. And especially in a band setting, these are definitely much better to have. I'm also the guy that's doing sound for my band on the side. So it's for me, I'm the only one that's doing in-ear monitors currently in my band, but I can tell you that these are a lifesaver in terms of being able to hear yourself when you're in a band setting, if you're doing lives, as I mentioned. But let's take a look at what's in the box, and I can give you my opinion on what I've come to find out with this system compared to a very expensive system that I have also used as well. Not in the same price point at all, but in compare for what this is sold at, very impressive. And I'm kind of blown away by the cost of it versus the quality of the sound that you get out of it. So in the box here, we have the instruction manual, and then we have all the various components. We have the transmitter, we have the body pack receiver. This is charged by USB. It's actually got a split Y adapter here. So you plug this into an USB-A power brick, and then the USB-C will plug into both the transmitter and the receiver at the same time. Now we also have an adapter here for the transmitter, so it converts an XLR male over to a tip sleeve, so unbalanced. This can accept either balanced or unbalanced signals coming in. It's taking a look at this. We can either have line level, which is a much stronger signal, aux, meaning that this would be microphone level, so a much lower signal. You can switch it by this changing on the switch here. You have your on and off switch on the other side, your charging port here. And then it's got a single button. If I was to turn this on, it's going to have a blue LED that's going to come up. It'll go red over here if the power is needing to be recharged inside. And then you can press and hold for, I think, 3 seconds or 5 seconds. It's going to go into a fast flash, which is in pairing mode. Now over here we have the receiver, and it's got the volume plus and minus, and then your power button on the side, and then a 3.5 millimeter jack to plug in your in-ear monitors. And if I hold the power button, then the blue light will start blinking, and it is going to pair by pressing this button. So now they both should be slow flashing, and then finally solid blue flash, or solid blue I should say. Now they're both paired. Wanted to point out here in the instruction manual that this is a UHF frequency unit, not a 2.4G or a 5.8G unit system. And that to me is important because right now there are a lot of devices in that gigahertz range that operate in almost in the same range as your Wi-Fi. And if you're using more than one of these systems, that can get a little crazy with the interference or dropouts happening. This is in the UHF band, and it offers 7 different channels, so that does not happen. Now, UHF, it does not specifically say what frequency range, but all the specifications are here. The fact that this has a very long range of 164 feet. Now, it does say LOS, meaning line of sight, so you really don't want to have any kind of obstacles in front of you, no walls or anything like that, but that is good to keep in mind. We have a 450 milliamp hour battery inside the transmitter and a 400 milliamp hour battery in the receiver, and it's supposed to go and last about 5 hours of runtime and about 2 hours to charge. 48 kilohertz and 24-bit sampling rate, which is basically CD quality, if not better. It also goes on to say that it has about 1 millisecond of transmission latency. So that is extremely good. You're essentially hearing no delay in your sound if you are live monitoring or live tracking, which is very important when you have an in-ear monitoring system. In my experience, I have not noticed any latency at all. It is very good on that point, which is a good thing to be aware of, especially if you are just getting into the in-ear monitor market. All right, so now I have my microphone set up here through the camera, and I have a
USB mixer, but what I'm going to show you guys is I'm going to send the feed from the transmitter through a Bluetooth that I had set up on my other phone here, and I'm going to send what is going through that transmitter. The receiver is going to go back into the USB mixer here that's hooked up to the camera, and I'm just going to play some of my clips from my last video that I did where you're hearing some bass guitar coming through, but you will get an idea of how good a quality of sound that this system actually has. Better perspective. So I have the transmitter here that's receiving a Bluetooth audio signal from my other phone right here, and then the transmitter here, what would normally be your in-ear monitors, are going into a USB mixer here, which then the USB mixer is going right back up to the phone here that I'm using to record this video, and this is what that audio will sound like. So here's some of that audio clip from my last video here, but going through the in-ear monitor system. That's me playing. And this is what you're actually hearing in your inners. Here's some overdrive. It's a Hawthorne. Sounds very clear though. But as you can hear, it sounds very, very clear. And again, that's whether you're using headphones like this or whether you're using an in-ear monitor setup like these that I got off of Amazon over here. You know, you're going to get a very nice quality signal, and we're right next to each other with the transmitter and the receiver. In my practice, when I did this with my band last week, I was using my in-ear monitors with this system, and I think at most I was about 50 feet away, and I did not have any problems with dropouts. Now, it says 164 feet for line of sight, and I don't know if you would ever need to go that far, but in practical terms, I would say that 50 feet is a good distance away. Anything beyond that, I would expect some level of dropouts or static coming through, because this transmitter and receiver, this set, you got very, very tiny batteries, only 400 and 450 milliamps. The milliwatts of transmission power between the two can't be a lot. You know, if you're wanting that battery to last, say 4 or 5 hours according to the instructions, you're not going to be able to transmit at a very high power milliwatt range. Otherwise, you're going to degrade your battery life very, very short. Maybe at some point I will try for the 164 feet just for the sake of trying it, but I think for practical purposes, most band players are just having an in-ear monitor system. 50 feet is more than ample. I would even go a little bit more and say, hey, go 60 feet. And as long as it's line of sight with no walls or any kind of obstructions, you're not going to have any problem with this system at all.
So my final thoughts on this system is that it's well worth what the price point is at to give you a nice budget in-ear monitor system that will get you started. Now, you will need to get your own set of in-ear monitors, you know, whatever you can find that is going to be suitable for you. It'll even drive large studio headphones that I just had in the previous segment here, although the battery life probably would be compromised a little bit because you are running a bigger driver. But the total cost of the entire system and the audio quality, I'm very impressed with. I'm very happy with the performance. And if you had more than one of these systems, if your band is just looking to get into the in-ear monitor setup, this is a great budget introductory setup to get you started with it. And then eventually, if you wanted to move up to something with more features and more complexity, very happy with it. If there's any questions, please let me know. A big thank you to PogoLabs for sending this out to me to review. Thank you so very much again, and any questions or comments, please let me know. And there is a link here in the description if you are interested in purchasing this. It helps out my channel a little bit, and it also helps out PogoLabs. They're just trying to get the word out for a nice budget system that I think would be very beneficial for the blue-collar musician that's working out there, that's just trying to get something with the right amount of features at the right price. So thanks so much, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.